So here is the Sovereign Prime collaborative application that we're building. So after a user downloads it, that user just has to input his or her email address to any Gmail or Yahoo account or whatever kind of public email, and their password, okay, for that corresponding email address. And then they don't have to do anything else. They don't have to fill in a form, they don't have to register, they don't have to sign up. So this is a pretty frictionless user acquisition, okay? The other thing is, if they're using an email address where the server coordinates are not hard-coded into the application, like let's say examplecompany.com email address, like a work email address, they can just fill in those details on a server configuration page or a settings configuration page that's going to pop up in that event, in that use case. For this demo, I'm just going to use the email address that's already hard-coded in, because this is still a very early stage build. Make this full screen. So this screen, very basic. This is just a task/project manager. So if you want to add a task, you just go over here, you add a task, and then you drag it to whatever area on the screen is open. So here we're just going to call it write some software. Okay. And we're going to make, well, I guess I'll be responsible for this one. I'll be the project manager on this task. Okay. So now here it is over here. This is now a task on my top level taskbar. But if I want to add a subtask to this task here, okay, I can do that too. Here we're going to say write requirements. I'm going to get John to write those requirements. Okay, so I'm going to make John responsible in the responsibility assignment matrix over here. So you can have someone be the person who's actually going to do the work, the responsible person. You can also assign someone to manage that person, so have someone be accountable on that task. You can assign someone to be consulted, maybe an expert or a senior, in this case a senior software developer in your company or whatever. You can assign a signatory to this task to say that when it's complete, this is the person who's going to sign off for any related payments that are associated to this task. Then you can assign people to be informed, and you can assign someone else to be payable. So who gets paid when this task is complete. So in this case, I'm going to make John responsible for this task. And I'm going to say that when John is done writing these requirements, I'm going to give him $250. And I'll be accountable on this task as well. And in here I can also say that I need mock-ups let's just do this. I need mock-ups, I need requirements, and I need design document to make sure that I understand all the decisions that were made in the engineering of, the solution that we're building. Right? So here I have these 3 documents, and I'm going to pay John $250 when he's done. So now I have a task, a top-level task, with a subtask, which essentially makes this a project, okay, with a work breakdown structure. Now, to elaborate on that, let's add a new task over here. And this task will be to just mock-ups. How about that? Just mock-ups. Okay? And now John, I'm going to assign this to Jane. So John is going to be accountable. So I'm going to assign this to Jane at Sovereign Prime. Jane is going to be responsible, and I'm going to add a person here. I'm going to add John as the accountable person. Boom. So now here it is. We have a top-level project, and now we have two subtasks that are organized in this work breakdown structure. So if I want to, and I want to add something in this area, I can just add a task over here under Write Requirements, and I can say Design Document, and I will assign this to Jim. That's Sovereign Prime. Jim is going to be responsible, and John, my man John, is going to be the project manager. Okay, so again, John is accountable. So now over here we have a top-level project with one sub-project and two sub-projects. So we can see this nice visual path here in the work breakdown structure. And it also has a responsibility assignment matrix. So it's a very basic, easy to use project management tool, task management tool, but it's also pretty powerful as is. So over here we have the relationship screen. So I've just been assigning tasks to people, and automatically when I do that, these contacts are entered in my relationship. So this is basically like a tiered address book. So you can have groups and subgroups, and you can also have contacts in here. So when I click on Jim, I see that Jim is going to be writing a design document for some software that we're writing. And Jane has this project. She's going to be doing the mock-ups. And John is accountable for pretty much everything. John is involved with all of these tasks. Okay, so John is writing requirements, and he's delegating the responsibility of writing the design document and doing the mock-ups. Okay, so now I see what John is doing. And over here in the financial screen, I can see basically a summary of my financial dealings with pretty much everyone that I'm involved with at this stage. So all of this later on will be searchable and filterable. Now here's the other interesting thing. Beyond being able to manage relationships and tasks and projects and also deal with your financial dealings, this application has got one more little trick up its sleeve. The next feature that I want to show you is file sharing and synchronization between users. Now, at this stage in this app, it's very rudimentary, but it's still extremely powerful. So in order to show you what I mean, let me just create a new task here, drag it under mockups. And here's what I'm going to do with this task. I'm going to share a file with the recipients of this message. And the way that I do that is very simply by taking a file and dragging it onto the app. Here we go. And then I'm simply going to drop it in here, and now we see that there is an attachment. Okay? Now the way that this file is being sent to the recipient is very interesting, because it's not going to our central server at Sovereign Prime. It's actually going directly to the recipient's computers through BitTorrent. So essentially what the application is doing here is it's taking the file and it's creating a torrent file it attaches to this message. And then the recipients can download this file directly off my computer whenever they want. And what's interesting about that is it means that there is no theoretical limitation on attachment sizes anymore. So I could literally take my hard drive, make an image file of my entire drive, and I could attach that to a message, in theory. And I could just send an image, a snapshot of my hard drive, to somebody on the other side of this application, with no central server, nothing. So unlimited file sharing over a distributed infrastructure. So try doing that with your free Dropbox account. So there it is. Email reinvented to be orders of magnitude more powerful, that works over the existing infrastructure, and the app is free, so user acquisition has very low friction. It appeals to easily monetizable workgroups and productive individuals. By enabling in-app transactions, there is a clear road to revenue. Send us an email if you're interested. Thanks for watching.